Right? Right. Absolutely tripping. And not some wild shit. Right. Fucking hilarious. Oh yeah. This is right. Yep. Gone a long way. Oh, yeah. Come on. There's a couple things going on here. There's definitely. Can you see me all right? I switch windows. All right. So I do it now. Yeah. Okay. All right. All right. This is like a very long time ago. Very long time ago. 5 years ago. No thumbs down. Young I know what they stole from you. I know what they stole now. It's pretty amazing. By faking the moon landing, they stole your God. By convincing you that the moon was a solid rock, they managed to steal away your God. They stole your God. Moses and the moon cult. The bullhorns actually represent the crescent of the moon. So by convincing you that the moon was a rock, it strips older belief of it being plasma. And the original lawmakers are also the original lawbreakers. Moses wrote the law and then broke the law. It goes along with what I've said for a very long time. The lawmakers are the original lawbreakers. They write the law to break the law over your head. Fucking shit's wild.
All right, I want to talk a bit about Moses because Moses is very important to American law because
Can you hear that okay, Chuck? All right.
the United States operates on three premises. One, Roman government. Our government is Roman in style. Our philosophy is Greek, and our laws are Jewish. And so Moses is very important to the laws of America, the Mosaic Law. So let's look at Moses because it's a very interesting history about the real story of Moses, the lawgiver. We know that Moses was given the law by God. He's the lawgiver and the leader of the children of Israel. And supposedly God gave Moses the 10 Commandments on Mount Sinai. And he comes down from Mount Sinai, bringing to the children of Israel the new law. The 10 Commandments also, of which Moses is supposed to have gotten from God, the 10 Commandments are actually based on the Egyptian negative confessions. Do some research at the library or on the web on the subject of Egyptian negative confessions. And you'll find that the Egyptian negative confessions was the laws in Egypt, and they're almost identical to the 10 Commandments. So that's probably where we get the 10 Commandments is from Egypt. And here's just a classic example of comparing the Egyptian negative confessions to the Hebrew laws from Moses. So the Mosaic Law. Moses, the lawgiver. All right, we have Moses, the lawgiver, in the legislative chambers of all across America and all the states. In the federal government, we have statues of Moses being the lawgiver. Not even mentioning, of course, the Vatican and all over the world. Moses is respected as the great lawgiver. Supreme Court, you see Moses holding the two laws, the tablets. Interesting too is that Moses, when first given the law from God, he on the tablets, he threw them down and broke the tablets, so he was the first lawbreaker. This is where we get the idea that you break the law. As I said, here's Moses, the lawgiver, depicted in the U.S. House of Representatives. Why does Moses have horns? Now, I have some interesting questions about Moses. Let's start with his horns. A lot of people don't know that Moses was always pictured with horns. This is in the Vatican. In churches, you will always see Moses. Anytime he's portrayed, you'll see him with horns. Moses is pictured with the moon or lunar horns. Moses was the focal figure of an ancient cult of moon worship on the Sinai Peninsula. The horns represent the crescent moon. The moon in its lower quarter resembles horns, as this encyclopedia talks about the lunar phase when the horns of the crescent moon point up at the angle. So the horns are actually the moon in the lower quarter. And we will see the god of the moon. His name was Sin. We'll get to him in just a moment. You'll see the goddess is wearing the moon horns. Native Americans, of course, Native American chiefs wore horns. This is why they would count their days. Native Americans would count their days from sundown to sundown. That's why they would always keep track of their days by many moons. They would not say many suns, but by many moons. So the horns of the Native American Indian chiefs were the lunar horns of many moons. And of course, the Vikings kept the same identical idea. The Vikings had the moon horns. And it was, as I said, the lower quarter of the moon was in the shape of horns. And so establishing that the lower quarter of the moon, the horns, now we get into the actual archaeological findings. We see the moon being pictured on coins. Here's hands raised worshiping the moon. These are ancient findings in archaeology. Here's the moon on its boat as it floats through the sky in the ancient Egyptian idea.
So this is interesting, Chuck. All the old world religions were based on worship of the moon, lunar in nature. Turns out the moon is a solar deity, and the masculine doesn't want to talk about it in front of him. So, real purpose of the moon landing, steal or deny these people their God. That was the whole purpose. Do you get it? Every religion was worshiping the moon. Even Christians in solar deity worship, worshiping the sun, still worshiping the moon without knowledge of it. No? It's like the biggest joke's on them because they thought God was an external force outside of them. Moses and the Vulcan gods, Moses and the volcano. This whole thing is wild. I put the link in the comments. Let's keep going.
Here's the Virgo, the Virgin, the constellation of Virgo, connected to the lower quarter of the moon. The moon god above the three in the middle. So the lower quarter of the moon has taken on the appearance of horns. And here you'll see the same thing in the Vatican. The Vatican, lower quarter of the moon. The moon cults. I'm not going to bother to read all of this because you can read it yourself, but it basically is talking about an ancient cult of the moon. And, of course, in Islam, Allah is connected to the moon cult. Now, if you go to the Google, for instance, if you go to Google and type in moon god Sin, because the actual name of the old Arabian moon god his name was Sin, S-I-N. Sin was the Semitic moon god's name. So as I said, if you go to Google and just type in moon god Sin, S-I-N, you'll see there's over 1 million entries just on that one subject. Then if you put into Google, say S-I-N equals Allah, you'll get about 1,270,000 entries talking about the moon god Allah.
So that's pretty interesting, right? Allah is the moon god Sin, S-I-N, Sin. And sin turns into S-Y-N, sin. Sins and signs, sins. Thoth was your first man of sin or man of signs, man of sin, moon magic. Moses is attached to the moon cult. Allah is sin god Ada moon. Anu is the Inaki word for the moon. And that translates to Nua for the Chinese, Noah for the English. So that means that Noah was the moon god, which is Thoth, Monkey King. Pretty wild.
And here's another one. This one's like 3.25 million if you put in moon god Allah. So Allah, or Sin, S-I-N, was a moon god in ancient Arabia. There's another one. You put in Islamic moon god, you get 198,000 entries. Here, the Catholic Church even uses the crescent moon. As I said, the moon god's name was Sin. Sin, the moon god, was a god chiefly venerated in the pre-Christian civilization in southern Arabia.
None of it. It's wild. So the moon landing was to force us to forget God. That took the moon. That's why they created by convincing we went to the moon, then we took God out of the equation. Lunar tides, lunar cycles, the menstrual cycles attached to the moon cycles, 28-day calendars, 13 months. They turn all the months into 30s so they can hide a month. Yeah, yeah. So Allah is the moon god's sin, and the Christians, boy, they hate their sins, don't they? Don't forget, Jesus is the moon god too. Jesus was in the same moon cult as Moses. And Canaanites howled at the moon, they barked at the moon. Moon eyed people got blue eyes for helping you see at night. Yeah, we already streamed this a couple of times today. So today is Jesus's Gilgamesh's Nimrod's birthday. Right? Something being born in the dead of night, dead of winter, which is they created this so that they could worship the winter solstice because they're pagans, so they celebrate celestial alignments.
It is significant. The lower part of this paragraph, it says, it is significant that the Semites of the great caravan city of Palmyra in the first 3 centuries of the Christian era also gave high priority to the worship of the moon. And there again, we see that the moon god's name is Sin. Now, one dictionary, or actually it's an encyclopedia on symbols, talks about the moon god Sin. It says, if Moses climbed Mount Sinai to meet the resident god, then the god he met would have been the moon god Sin, who had been enthroned on that mountain since the rise of Sumeria, and gave his name to it. In fact, Sin gave his name to the whole Sinai Peninsula, formerly the land of Sinim. So originally, Yahweh was not only a form of the primitive lunar deity of Arabia. So Yahweh, the god of the ancient Hebrews, is actually the old god of the mountain, Sin.
Did that just blow your fucking mind? How's the synagogue of Satan doing today? How's the Saturnian Brotherhood doing? Luna Saturn. Yeah. So sun worshippers are worshiping the moon, and moon worshippers are worshiping the sun. It's all ass backwards. It's amazing.
The moon god.
No one knows what they're doing.
It says in Babylon, homage was paid above all to the moon god, the supreme guarantor of cosmic order. So we see this. Here's another one, another cuneiform picture from the ancient Sumerians showing the god Sin receives the homage of two of his worshippers. You'll see the moon in the lower quarter, and that's the moon god Sin. And as I said, in the ancient Arabian system of moon worship, a mountain was Ai. So you take the mountain Ai and connect it to the god Sin, it becomes Sin Ai, or Mount Sinai. Mount Sinai is simply the moon god Sin and his mountain, which is spelled Ai. Worship of the moon god. So we see that originally Yahweh, the last sentences in yellow says the original Yahweh was only another form of this primitive lunar deity of Arabia. So that's why today in America we spell synagogue S-Y-N, but originally the correct spelling is S-I-N, not S-Y-N. That's why if you go to Israel and going to a Jewish synagogue, it's spelled S-I-N, because it's the worship of the moon god, Sin, the house of the god Sin. Here's a synagogue in Israel. Zoom in on it, it's spelled S-I-N, not S-Y-N. So you'll find all over the world, except in America, all over the world, synagogues that spell S-I-N in honor of the god that they're worshiping, the moon god Sin. Here's an article, traces of worship of the moon god Sin among the early Israelites. So we see that in the Jewish tradition, it's always used the symbolism of the moon, even on their sacred or blessed symbols, amulets. You will see the worship, their hands raised, worshiping the moon. So the phases of the moon were very important in the ancient Phoenician, Canaanite, Hebrew tradition. Here you see the priest lighting a fire to the signal for the new moon. Moon worship was very important in the ancient Israel and the ancient Hebrew. Even during the Middle Ages, we see the Jewish cycle of the moon being celebrated. Lots and lots of material and pictures on the worship by the Hebrews of the moon god Sin. Above you'll see a carving blessing of the new moon. So in Sinai, as I said, was a large and very high mountain range in the middle of Sinai. And from the east, you could look east and you would see the moon coming up and over that mountains. And so the ancient peoples believed that the moon lived in the mountain, and the moon god's name was Sin, and the mountain was spelled Ai. Put the two together, it becomes Mount Sinai. So that's who Moses would have been going up to see when he went up into the mountain to get the law. He would have been going up to see the moon god, Sin. As a matter of fact, it's called Sin Ai or Sinai. So the moon god Sin, that's the first part of the real story of Moses. Moses was the leader of the lunar cult, worshippers of the moon god Sin. A mountain in the ancient language was Ai. Put the two together and it becomes Mount Sinai. Go back to Google again and just put Moses, the moon deity. And you'll find there's 318,000 entries talking about Moses and Mount Sinai. Moses and moon worship. Saturnian Moon worship. Moses and the volcano god. No. Moses and the volcano god. Now, we've seen Moses connected to moon worship, the moon god Sin, Ai. Now we're looking at Moses, another feature of Moses that a lot of people don't know anything about, and that is Moses was also connected to volcano worship. So we have the moon, and now we have volcanoes. Volcanoes themselves were very powerful symbols in the ancient world. They still frighten people today. On the volcano, in this particular encyclopedia of symbols, says, like any other impressive and fearful aspect of nature, volcanoes have been the object of worship for human beings from the earliest Stone Age. So volcanoes have always been symbols of worship. And again, yet the original Yahweh seems to have begun as a volcano god also. Mount Sinai, where Moses encountered him, was the seat of the Midianite god, who had formerly dwelt in a volcano. So we're seeing that Moses, when he encounters Yahweh on Mount Sinai, along with being a moon god, we also see that Moses was involved in volcano worship. And even books today talking about Mount Sinai show mountains on fire. Only time you see a mountain on fire is a volcano. Even one book is called The Mountain of Fire. Moses took stones. Here we have a picture of Moses with the stone tablets. And that looks to me to be a volcano behind him. Does it look like a volcano to you? This is from Hebrew and Jewish books for children, Bible pictures, Moses in front of a volcano. Here we have Mount Sinai. Jehovah performed signs for the Hebrews. Does that look like a volcano to you? There's another one with the children of Israel camped at Mount Sinai, where Jehovah or Yahweh was the volcano god. There's another picture of the volcano in eruption. And so we got plenty of pictures of this throughout religious literature. You'll always see Moses in a volcano. So does that look like a volcano to you? Here's one Hebrew telling another one to look at the volcano. Volcanoes, of course, had lightning associated with them. Israel and Mount Sinai dedicated itself to Jehovah. So here are the Hebrews worshiping the volcano god that Moses was going up to see. Here's Moses up in the volcano. Here's another picture of the children of Israel running away from God because he was scaring them. Of course, I would be scared too if you were that close to a volcano. So we have pictures, like I said, we have many, many pictures of Moses in connection with the volcano worship. Here's another one. Jehovah led the sons of Israel to the mountain named Sinai. Does that look like a volcano to you? So we know that Moses and the story of Moses also dealt with volcano worship. That is history. We also know that Moses had other sides to him too. Now here in the Jewish encyclopedia, the symbols for the different holy days, and in the lower right hand, you will see the feast of the giving of the law. So here we have the feast of the giving of the law, which also coincides with the first fruits. And does that appear to be a volcano to you? Looks like a volcano to me, and it also has lightning, as you will see, has lightning all around it. And of course, like I said, that's typical because the lightning does accompany volcanoes. Now, this is taken from a Hebrew reference work on the symbols of the holy days. And here is a symbol for the feast of the giving of the law. to Moses. That appears to be, to me, a volcano with lightning strikes all around it. The word volcano comes from the Latin volcano god Vulcan, or Vulcanus. It's derived from an old Cretan deity named Vulcanus. His volcanoes are Vulcan, the volcano god, holding in his hands the lightning and the hammer of Thor. So with the hammer and the lightning bolts, the old ancient volcano god Vulcan frightened the whole world. He was the god of the mountain. Prometheus was also a volcano god whose worshippers took him to Greece, while Yahweh, the Hebrew god, was also a volcano god whose worshippers took him to Judah. So Prometheus, Yahweh, all of these were ancient gods of the volcano. Tribes living on the slopes of the fallout area of an active volcano promoted the smoking home to the status of a tribal goddess and regularly threw their captive enemies into the lava-filled lava in the hope of dissuading her from erupting over them. One such volcano in Anatolia was Mount Yahweh, whose worshippers were the Jews. We find that Mount Yahweh was changed to Mount Yahweh. His worshippers took the volcano god with them when they invaded Babylonians and drove them out of Anatolia and into Phoenicia. So, again, just to reiterate, yet the original Yahweh, the ancient Hebrew god Yahweh, seems to have begun as a volcano god. Here we have God, Yahweh, on the fiery mountain with lightning all around, chiseling out the 10 Commandments for Moses. And this is God with his hammer, and you'll see the mountains on fire with lightning, just like Volcanus, or Vulcan, the volcano god. One and the same thing. So Moses was going up to a volcano to get the law. So we're talking about the law of the volcano god Vulcan. He was also identified with the local moon god Sin, as we said before, the moon god worship, after whom the mount was named. But then in Exodus 13, it says the appearance of Yahweh was as a pillar of cloud by day and a pillar of fire by night. So in the book of Exodus, we are told that Yahweh always appeared to his people, Israel, as a pillar of cloud by day and a pillar of fire by night. And so here it is in the book of Exodus. We read, and the Lord went before them, Israel, by day in a pillar of cloud. This is from the Bible, in the book of Exodus, to lead them the way. And by night, a pillar of fire to give them light, to go by day and night. He took not away the pillar of cloud by day, nor the pillar of fire by night from before the people. So the pillar of cloud by day, obviously a volcano. Pillar of cloud by day is a volcano. Pillar of fire by night is a volcano. So we read that and other reference works in the Bible says the magnificence of Yahweh was like a devouring fire on top of the mountain. And the people said, we heard his orders from the middle of the flames. So right down to the Babylonian captivity, Yahweh remained primarily a volcano god. And in Psalms it says, I called upon Yahweh and cried out to my Allah, and heard my voice in his temple, and the land shook and trembled. So we see that Moses was dealing with, when he went up into the mountain to get the 10 Commandments, the volcano god Vulcan. And here are just some scriptures showing the same thing. How the noise thereof from God showed concerning the cattle, also concerning the vapor, the noise thereof telleth. We feel his presence in the thunder. There's all kinds of scriptures in the Old Testament talking about they heard, like on 37:2, hear attentively the noise of his voice, and the sound goeth out of his mouth. The bottom, number 4, it says, and after it a voice roared, he thundered with his voice of his excellence. God thunders marvelously with his voice. So I'm just showing that there are many different scriptures that talk about God speaking to his people in thunder. God thunders marvelously with his voice. And here again in Job 37, it says, the storm, the clouds, God's tent, gathered as the thunder or the voice of Yahweh roars. They descend, and God shoots the arrows of his lightning or thunderbolts. God thunders wonderfully with his voice. All of these references in the Bible are talking about the God of the mountains. Mount Sinai was also a volcano god who thunders wonderfully with his voice. So the voice of God is thunder. And of course, we know Zeus was always pictured with lightning bolts, and that's the way Yahweh was pictured. So interesting that God in the English transliteration of the Latin word Deus is an alternate spelling of the Greek word Zeus. So when you use the word God in the English, it comes from a Latin word Deus. Just understand, God comes from the Latin word Deus, and Deus is an alternate spelling of the Greek god Zeus. Deus, Zeus. God is Zeus, the god of thunder and lightning. From all kinds of reference work, you can see that our word God comes from Zeus. So there is Zeus with the thunderbolts. Here again is another Bible reference work saying, thunder is called Kuleth of voices, for it is considered the voice of God. So when the ancient people saw lightning and thunder on a mountain, it was burning with fire, they were frightened because God was talking to them. Actually, no, it was just a volcano. Moses and the volcano god Vulcan. And of course, that's what you get with a volcano, is a lot of lightning and thunder. And I can see why it would have frightened people. Lightning can be symbolized by means of an arrow. So much for Moses and the volcano god Vulcan. Oh, and one more point about Moses and the volcano god. Vulcan, the volcano god, there's a symbol in the ancient Hebrew that's still used today. Mr. Spock, as you will recall, here we have Vulcan. Mr. Spock is a Vulcan. And that hand symbol is used in Hebrew religion today. It's a very interesting symbol. And why would Mr. Spock be using a Hebrew symbol and calling himself a Vulcan? Because this is a Vulcan symbol. Here we have, just very quickly go through this, you will see this symbol used in Hebrew literature everywhere. It's called the benediction symbol, the blessing symbol. So the rabbis will bless the congregation after the service with this hand sign. Here's a Pentateuch scroll crown with the hands raised in the priestly blessing. Here we see the Lord is high, he looks upon the lowly. And you'll see the Hebrew priest giving the blessing. Here in the synagogue in downtown Los Angeles, you will see the prophet giving the blessing in the Hebrew hand sign. Here's a good picture of a rabbi, and the service is closed with the blessing or the benediction symbol. The same symbol that Mr. Spock, the Vulcan, uses. Because Hebrew religion is also based on the worship of the old volcano god at Sinai, Sin-Ai, the moon god, the volcano god, the Vulcan. But where does this hand sign come from? Comes from the split hoof of a goat. The split hoof of a goat is also connected in the most ancient world with Hinduism and with the worship of Vulcan, the volcano god. The split hoof of a goat is used in the Hebrew religion. That's where it comes from. All of this is very, very involved, but I'm just giving you the basic concepts for which you can go and do your own research on where these symbols and words have come from. The goat god. We also have the worship of the goat god, Baphomet. And here is an interesting point too, is that the goat god, or Vulcan, the goat god is being worshipped here, as you can see. Even in the Bible, it has the man riding the goat, which is a familiar Masonic symbol too. Here in the tarot cards, we see that the devil is representing as giving as the devil giving the symbol, the hand sign of the goat god. So we've looked at Moses as the leader of the ancient lunar or moon cult of Sinai. Again, the god of the moon, his name was Sin, and a mountain was Ai. Put them together to become Mount Sinai, the moon god, the home of the lunar moon god. But it's also Mount Sinai was connected, as we saw, to volcano worship also. Next, we saw Moses as the leader of the ancient volcano cult. Then we saw the volcano god's son Vulcan, still with us today on TV. Let's examine another side of Moses before we leave him. Moses and mushrooms. Moses, we're told in the book of Genesis and in the Pentateuch, led the children of Israel out into the wilderness, and they were fed each day with something called manna from heaven. We have pictures of the Hebrews collecting manna from heaven. And the manna from heaven they would pick up in the morning. We're told that manna is actually, the word manna in Hebrew means, what is it? It's because obviously the children of Israel didn't know what it was. But the Bible reference work says whatever it was small, round, flaky, is white, and obviously came from heaven. So the manna from heaven, the word manna meant what is it? And whatever it was small, round, flaky, and white. Here they are picking the manna from heaven off the ground. And we're told that the children of Israel would eat the manna. Here it is even in Exodus 16. And the account in the Bible says, and when the dew that lay on the ground was gone up, behold, upon the face of the wilderness, there was lay a small round thing, small as hoarfrost on the ground. And when the children of Israel saw it, they said to one another, it is manna, for they did not know what it was. And so Moses said unto them, this is the bread which the Lord has given you to eat. And across in the reference work, it says, it is manna, simply meaning, what is it? For they knew not what it was. Well, it's very simple. What manna from heaven actually was small round things picked up in the morning dew. We have many, many pictures of this taking place. Small round things being picked up in the morning dew. Even in the ancient and medieval world, they showed Jews picking the small round things in the morning dew. What would that be if it wasn't manna from heaven? Was in fact a small round thing, mushrooms. When the dew that lay on the ground was gone up, well, that's when mushrooms usually form on the ground, as small round things in the morning dew. So what we're talking about here is mushrooms. There's a bunch of mushrooms. This is the Amanita muscaria, a very famous mushroom, hallucinogenic mushroom. Andrei Paharek, in his book, The Sacred Mushroom, Key to the Door of Eternity, the search for the secret plant of the ancients used to send the mind to another world and into the future. Here we see, even in the ancient Egyptians, you will see the gods, and in India also, the gods using the mushroom. Soma, the divine mushroom of immortality. The word soma simply means, the history of magic mushroom is known the world over. Again, it was called the food of the gods. We have many, many books talking about the magic mushroom in relation to the ancient Hebrew and the ancient Christian congregations. The mystery of the manna. Manna was the mushrooms. The small round things in the morning dew. Many, many books, many reference works on this subject of the plant of the gods, the food of the gods. Here's some articles written in Israel. There's quite a few articles that have been written in papers and magazines in Israel talking about Moses actually on psychedelic drugs and leading the people to those sacred mushrooms. This is from a newspaper article. Hebrew University researcher says Moses was tripping at Mount Sinai, showing that even in Israel, they're publishing articles about when you start doing your research and really looking into what the story of Moses is all about. It's about a moon cult. It's about a volcano cult. It's about hallucinogenic mushrooms. Here's another one talking about Moses. So Moses was not the only one on mushrooms, though. Adam and Eve, being the first two couple, beat him to it. Even as far back as in the Bible in Genesis 1, talks about Adam and Eve. Well, here Adam and Eve is pictured in a church in France with the tree of knowledge being mushroom, a big mushrooms. Christian fresco showing Amanita muscaria as a tree of good and evil in the Garden of Eden. So a lot of people do not know that all around Europe and in the Middle East, Adam and Eve are pictured getting their wisdom and knowledge from the tree of good and evil, which is actually a mushroom. Here it is in a church, Adam and Eve with the mushrooms. All kinds of pictures on this, but this kind of knowledge is not given to Christians or Jews. But if you want to do some homework, you'll find that Moses was, and the story of the manna from heaven goes back to the sacred mushroom. Here's pictures of Adam and Eve taking pieces of the mushroom from the snake in the Garden of Eden. And there you'll see the Amanita muscaria mushroom as a backdrop to Adam and Eve. These pictures are replete throughout the ancient world and in the European churches, religious institutions. All of these people know that the mushroom was part of the story. And there you'll see mushrooms in the middle. And here's Jesus on one side, and there's some of his followers on mushrooms. Here's God giving mushrooms. Well, that was in the ancient Old Testament times. So all of this mushroom use was in the Old Testament. But what about today, modern day? Let's look at the Christian church today. There are books like The Holy Mushroom, Evidence of Mushrooms in Judeo-Christianity. John Allegro, one of the three top men in the deciphering of the Dead Sea Scrolls, John Allegro, wrote a book called The Sacred Mushroom and the Cross. The Sacred Mushroom and the Cross was a study of the nature and origins of Christianity within the fertility cults of the ancient Near East. Fertility cults? Yep. Fertility cults. And here's some beautiful Middle Ages paintings of Jesus. And here you'll see Jesus presiding over mushrooms. Giving his followers mushrooms. And it says in Matthew 26:26 in the Bible, it says, while they were eating, Jesus took bread, gave thanks, and broke it and gave it to the disciples, saying, take and eat, this is my body. Interesting that the word body, take and eat, this is my body, Jesus said. The word body, here it is again in the King James Version. Matthew 26:26 says, and as they were eating, Jesus took bread and blessed it and broke it and gave it to his disciples and say, take, eat, this is my body. Well, the point being is that the word body is a word soma, and soma means mushroom. So in a Bible dictionary, look up the word soma, and it will say it's body, which means a mushroom. So here we have Jesus feeding his apostles mushrooms. Here's in the Middle Ages, in the medieval church, you'll see the mushroom around the saint. Here's a mushroom table, the Amanita muscara table of mushrooms. Modern day paintings of Jesus dying on a mushroom. Christmas is Jesus' birthday, so naturally the symbol of the mushroom will match. So all over the world, and Christmas, and especially in Russia, the mushroom is used as a symbol in Christmas. Santa Claus on the mushroom symbols. Always the red with the white polka dot, which is Amanita muscara for Christmas. It's quite literally everywhere, but most people don't see these things. They're not looking for them. But mushroom use by the early Christians was replete all over the world, and the ancient history testifies to it. So much for the mushrooms of Christmas. A Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year with a Amanita muscara mushroom. So in conclusion, we see that Moses leading his people, the children of Israel, fed them with manna from heaven. The manna from heaven that they were picking from the ground every morning was a mushroom. With this knowledge, we can see the logic of the headdress of the ancient Hebrew priest. In the ancient world, the priest, different priests, not only Hebrews, wore mushroom headdresses. Here, the Jewish priests with the mushroom cap to symbolize the importance of the magic hallucinogenic mushroom in their rituals. Mushroom headdresses for Jewish high priests are in the Middle East. Kings, potentates, and high priests always had mushroom headdresses. So so much for that looks like a mushroom upside down on that priest's head. Here's mushroom worshippers for Jesus. And here's a mushroom head. He looks like he's been on it for some time, too. Look at these goofballs with their mushroom headdress, and they're so profoundly ignorant, they have no idea in the world what they're wearing. They're wearing mushrooms on their head. So that should tell you something about their philosophy of life. And of course, typical of the world we live in, people will go and kiss the ring of the mushroom head, thinking it's something holy. Here's a bunch of mushrooms. Here's another bunch of mushrooms. Mushroom worship in the Christian church today is replete everywhere.
Have you ever noticed how much a mushroom looks like a circumcised penis? A circumcised dick? Do they circumcise dicks so they would look like a mushroom top? Penis caps?
There's a bunch of mushroom heads there. So time to say goodbye to all the mushroom heads.
Bye. Say goodbye.
Yeah, that's right. Even the cooks and chefs wear the mushroom symbol for the food of the gods. Here's the high priest with his mushroom cap. The Bible is filled with mushroom worship. So much for the law of Moses. I guess that's it. So now you know a little bit more about Moses, the moon worshiping prophet of the moon god Sin, or leading his people to worship the volcano god Vulcan, and feeding his people with mushrooms. So much for the law.
Good stuff, right? Bye. You Christians love your mushrooms, don't you? You love your mushrooms about as much as you love your Jesus. Merry Christmas. You know how many people got punked out today by my Christmas special? Do you like the Christmas present I gave you? You like the gift of my time? Presents? It's more than just a package that comes from a store. Moon magic. The Enochian calendar was based on lunar cycles. The Chinese still operate a lunar calendar, and the Catholic Church does too. But the good people don't want to talk about it. It's amazing. Right? No, to do anything. Good. Oh, oh yeah, I know. I'm redoing the Christmas presentation over into YouTube land. I figure I'd let you have some commentary on it. It's Moses' birthday too. That's the wild part. We're discussing the connections to Viking mythologies and native headdresses. They're all moon worshipping. And then I was sitting here like a dum dum, and it clicked in my head, and I said, I got it. Holy shit! I know why they faked the moon landing, so they could steal God. Because every culture was worshiping the moon as a solar deity. Mama Moon, Ma Moon, Amen, Amen Ra. Christians acknowledge Amen when they pray. Amen, Amen, Amen. So the Christians are praying to the moon god without knowing. Ignorance is a motherfucker. And Allah is the moon god too. Moon magic was mastered by Thoth, the Atlantean priest king. He was a draconian. He was a priest of Atlantis. He was the high priest. Which is the land that they walk on over there. By divorcing people from the land, they no longer thought they were holy or that they were part of God, that it's just God's land, holy land. We're going to fight over God's holy land. Native Americans tell you the land you walk on is holy. Holy shit. They relabeled everything. They separated people from the land by creating currency. It's amazing. A lot of these next generations just think the food magically appears in the grocery store. Amish people will laugh at that. Mennonites will too. Dirt farmers and poor people, my gosh, they think food's free, just magically appears in the grocery store every day. SNAP is PAN's benefit. See, SNAP PANs, SNAP PANs. Oh ho, SNAP cans hose. so, so today is um, it's the winter solstice for one, right? We're in the winter solstice time right now. That's part of why they do this. It has nothing to do with any particular person. It had to do with worshiping the sun. But what they did is convince the majority to worship the sun, when in secret, the minority, the Illuminati, and the upper echelons of society worship the moon. Right? Native Americans tell you Father Moon and Father Sun and Mother Moon, you know, meaning you're meaning recognition of both. They're closer to the truth because they're too super about balance. Balancing the donut hole. Yeah. So everybody's killing themselves in the name of their God. See what I'm saying? Because Allah is the moon. And then Sin AI, Sin, Mount Sinai. The original name for the god moon was Sin, and Sin turned into Mount Sinai and a whole region, a whole cult of people living in that area. So they donated his name to the land that they were walking on. What the actual fuck, right? Nutty. You give him a fucking child, didn't give him to do anything. Fuck. Very gross. Very disturbing. Very disturbing. Pictures of Tupac getting railed by Bruce Jenner somewhere. You want to see pictures of fucking Caitlyn Jenner fucking Tupac in the ass? Shit. I didn't want to see that shit. Yeah. It's like, get me out of here. And for the ones in here listening on YouTube, I streamed this earlier on Facebook Live, and I'm redoing it for YouTube. Merry Christmas from my house to yours. I hope you enjoy my present. You like the present I gave you? Presents. Father Time, another word for Santa Claus. Merry Christmas. You like my presents? I don't think you're going to. I actually think you're going to hate it. That's my assumption, and I'm sticking to it. Silence of the good people allows for anything to happen, including a felony. They work for the devil in charge. It's amazing, right? They're working for the ones causing and creating the problems. What do you mean? They're complacent and compliant to the problems, obeying their corporate master's call. It is real talk. I'm here to create a real problem for you all to observe in real time, right? A realist, a realist is a second cousin to an alchemist or a lyricist, said a real scientist. No. But yeah, they're building. Everybody thinks that they're building the new temple to Baal overseas in Israel, Nick. What about the ballroom over at the west? The new East Wing is the ballroom, temple to Baal, ballroom dancing. Let's dance. It's a show. Yeah, yeah. And isn't it weird how they dumped the Epstein files on society the night before Christmas? Like, wow, right? I mean, they really love you. The beautiful people, they really love you. Man in a box. You guys like being in black boxes or white boxes? You like feeling red or blue? Do you like juice boxes? Juice? I heard Jews like juice boxes. You, you like play Xbox games, GameCube games, cubicle games? Entertained by boxers boxing in a box, buying box goods from box stores. Professionals. Wrap that shit up in a box. Gift wrap it. Package it. Box it somebody. Call Joe Boxer. Can you believe that some people like box trotting or square dancing? Hey, look, everybody, there's a whole lot of hoes down. The hoes are down. Your mother's in heat right now. The best thing I can do is hose her down. Call out to the hosers. Bang or run. right? They go into the harbor. They go into the harbor seeking shelter. No, it's so wild. Yep.
That's all it's not.
Right. You sure can. Kill him with a candy. Let's kill these fuckers with a candy cane. What a great idea. By the way, smart people, did you know that the candy cane is a symbol for the first murder weapon? Which is why you have a candy cane on the Christmas tree, symbolic to the murder of Abel. Cain killed Abel with a cane, and the blood dripping down the can handle. I mean, can you see it? I can see it. I have my pip now. So they simply took control of the information around our biofield, distorted it, corrupted it, conditioned us to hate ourselves and love them more than you love for yourself, because they need to extract an emotional reaction between you and the victim. You're my victim, Dick. You're my victim. Right. Yeah. Through the emotional reactions. Right. Right. Well, trying no, no. Right. Oh man. Right. Good people. No. Isn't that wild? We kill nature. Yeah. Right. Angel, you can be my Spanish translator. I barely speak a lick of it. I can comprehend some of what you're saying in Spanish, but mostly I speak English. But I do things by math, and I like pictures. Pictures tell stories that stories don't even tell. But pictures and symbols will tell you the story. You know, welcome to my house, mi casa, su casa. Me neither. Yeah, we're fire sale right now, Angel. Fire sale. Fire! No, that's how a lot of people seem to think. Yeah, Yeah. Right? This shit's hilarious. Those are the good people. Oh my God. They're the good people. We're a bunch of devils and demons, deplorables, playing games of Dungeons and Dragons with devil dogs, daring the devil dogs to dance. Yeah, he's playing. That's like a crypt thing, ain't it? Nebuchadnezzar, but this the same blood. It's the same bloodline.
Yeah, but Gilgamesh
Said I
had
quit the fire, but yeah. Hmm. And the funny thing about Maine is that the state flower is a pine cone and it's the same geometry as the pineal gland. Flowered shot. But isn't that weird how that's corresponding? Why is it a flower? Why are you calling it a flower? It's not a flower. Yeah. Hmm. And, right. And remember, everybody, this is my lack of indoctrination at work over here, right? Me and my imagination, me and my thumbs, rumpa pum pum. Cisco, give me two thumbs. 5 stars is my fucking rating on sales on Marketplace. 5 star rating. Got a ninth grade education. That means I didn't even finish. I haven't even finished. I'm still educating myself. It's like Da Vinci said at 80, I'm still learning. Yeah. Isn't that wild? Hmm. And the significance of us discussing it on Christmas, the synchronicities of it, right? Where does Christmas really come from? Magic mushrooms. Where'd you hear that first, Dick? Right here, right? Who was the first drug dealer? Dee Dee. Turn a pair of D's sideways, you got a pair of TTs, titties, mama TT. Put two T's together, you got the pi symbol, Pisces. See the pie, oh pie, pie, pie. You put two capital T's together, now you have the symbol for pi. Jesus was a golden cap amanita mascaria, a mushroom, a fungi. No. Yeah. I'll try to make it make sense too. You know what I mean? Like, wow. Right. No. Right. Right. Vision. First class. First division. Those that see. Those that see when shown. And those that are Nazis, they don't want to see. Or they're getting paid to look away. Turn a blind eye. Sit silent. Silent. Oh yeah. The unvaccinated are still alive, and the vaccinated don't want to talk about it right now. We're here for the children, the children, the children. That's Nancy Pelosi's favorite line, right? It's all about the children, the children, the children. Looking for the children. Where's the children at? Better How's the children doing? The children, the children, the children. Are the children angry yet, parents? No. Yeah. Hmm. Right. 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 Yep. Yeah. We're going backwards, but it's forwards. Right. No. Right. Right. Well, if you kill us all, you're dead anyway.
Oh, it's just because of you.
Mind boggling. I fucking kicked everyone's ass dick by being a dick. They got their kings, and I'm my own king. King Todd. Todd wants to be a dog. He doesn't want to be a king. I don't understand that. I built my own legacy, Dick. Can you believe it? I built my own goddamn legacy with $50. It's amazing. There's a laundry list of things that have been taken out of the education. Analytics, being mechanical and analytical methods of measure, symbology, the symbols and their meaning. Letters have symbolic meaning, and that's lost on 90%. It's 80% are illiterate, don't have time for it. Consider that when you look at the royals. Do these people look literate to you? They look like they're methed out pole smokers. Methed out pole smokers. Right. And I'm looking at the people of England and I'm like, you're protecting this shit. And then you know, the bond man. Yep. Right. 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 These people are cooked. They are well done. They're drooling at the mouth, finding out that they vaccinated for a Krispy Kreme. Now they can also comprehend why Homer Simpson loved his donuts so much. Donuts. And people got so mad at me when I said, 80% of the people they dated it for a free donut. 80% vaccinated. So let's just say 80% of people made a bad decision for a Krispy Kreme. They don't want to be right. Krispy Kreme can't comprehend. Yeah. Right.
You know, you're a teacher.
I am. I am. I'm doing both right now. Correct. And look what I goddamn fucked everybody's world up for $1. My dollar. On Christmas. Hey, Merry Christmas. How you fuckers doing? How's the ooze down in fucking Whoville? I already did this stream once on Facebook. Well, they found out today that Jesus is a fun trip, a fun G, and a fun guy. And statistically speaking, society splits three ways. One third of people are lost looking for Jesus, can't find him, asking everybody else about Jesus, 33%. 33% are teaching from synagogues and podiums about Jesus, but will never do as Jesus said or did. That makes you a false teacher. So that's 66% of people right there. And what's left over, well, those people think they're Jesus or they're suffering from a God complex. That's some deep thinking right there. Uh, right. Right. At least your consciousness is clear conscious, because you said something. I said what was on my mind, so I don't got anything left to say because I said what was on my mind. It's out there. That itself allows you, for you to rest at ease, Dick. Right? That's the bare necessities to rest at ease. And you rest at ease when you sleep easy, rest at ease, sleep easy when nothing's on your conscious, nothing's eating you alive internally. Think of all these unhappy people in their careers and their professions and all the waste of time in university just to get a certificate of approval from society. Right? We could call this, what is it that you think you know? For $1. Call me Farmer General, and I farmed you for $1. America must be a fish farm. Red and blue fish, said Dr. Seuss. I even figured out how to make green eggs and ham, Dick. Ain't that a fucking trick? You know how he did it? Cannabis butter. You ever fry eggs in cannabis butter? You should try it sometime. It's great. It's not hard to make butter itself. You can make enough for a portion to make your own food. You know, like a cup of butter is about, you need a good quarter of cannabis. You grind it up and you put it in the butter on low heat for about 30 minutes till the butter turns green. Then you strain it out and get all the plant matter out, run it through a filter while it's hot. Then you can use that for making cookies, pancakes, eggs, fried green eggs, and ham. I saw Dr. Seuss. You know, you know how fucking funny that is? I saw Dr. Seuss. Right. I love this. Yeah. Shit's fucking amazing. I know. Oh, this is very bad. Quite a character. Oh yeah, yeah, yeah. He looks. Yeah, they do look like because of that. Yeah, makes me wonder who John Kerry's dressing up as. Full circle thinking, you guys. Whoa, far out, man. Right. But it all ties back to the Vatican. It's just running circles around the church. Media, who controls the strings of media? The church. Who controls money? The church. Who controls canon law? The church. Who decides the candidates that you're voting for office? The church. Oh, it's a conspiracy, but there's a separation between the church and the state. It's a comparison. It's a conspiracy. Nostradamus predicted that the church would implode under the weight of its own fucking sins. Conspiracy. Yeah, yeah. Got to thank Grace for production assistance for this Christmas special. And we wouldn't be having this conversation if it wasn't for Walt Disney. I mean, Hitler. I mean, Carl Egger. I mean, Tesla. I mean, who the fuck are you again? I forgot your name. Yeah. Feeding off. Yeah. We have to figure out what the fuck. Hmm. Right. I kicked their all butts. I kicked their hiney holes. Too much pride. Yeah, that's that right. That right there. Right. A prideful man. Effeminate man. A metrosexual or a homosexual. Said the heterosexual. And I decided to come at it from a uh, truth in animation. Isn't it amazing what's in the animation before it happens? And how many people would even have this conversation? Hey, look what they're showing your children. Cartoons and animation. Right, right. You know, 40, 40 year 40-year-olds are young enough to remember firsthand, 9/11. 30, 20-year olds, they don't remember, or they were too young to remember, you know? Right. I was, right. Nope. I don't. I don't think. I don't think people realize the full significance of me doing as I'm doing right now. Right. I actually come in my own name, which means that I'm not backed or verified by any institution. Technically, that would make me my own institution because I'm doing this in my own name. Come in my own name, which makes me a son of L. L is just another name for Saturn. Saturn, Zeus, God, son of God. You're a son of God. Yeah. So God is an internal power source and not an external one. I created that image. Me and my thoughts. I see what the bastard's doing, and I just turn it around and hand it back to you. Yep. Just like we discussed the other day with the automation and the big rigs, right? Autonomous transportation in the future. And shout out for everyone, go and investigate Social Security under Title IV. The federal government is incentivizing transportation of children through this part of Social Security. And another word for transportation, trafficking, right? Trafficking. So the federal government incentivized every freaking state to snatch and grab children from their parents. Whoa. And I'm still trying to figure out why the parents ain't pissed yet. Human cells and cells. Cells in the cells. You're a cellular being living in a cell, hearing me on your cell phone, cell to cell. This shit, goddamn hilarious. Hell in a cell, right? Right? Even Mount Sinai has AI in it. Mount Sinai, Sin. That's something that Jordan Maxwell made me realize, and I was going to tell you, I was actually getting ready to say something about it. So I even Even back then, AI. Even
Well,
back
just think
then, right? So Moses was in a sat as a was in a ladder a lunar Saturn moon cult, Brotherhood of Saturn. Isn't it funny how all religions are actually moon based? And somehow Mm, crazy. uh, no, I didn't. I didn't eat last night. I just went to bed. No, no. Sometimes I don't. Right.
something like that. But yeah, but
I eat a lot of eggs. I like eggs. I put them in soup too. Yep. Well, I think it had to do with them amplifying 5G going 6G without consent of anyone. The virus was a cover to give an excuse as to why people were getting sick. People were getting sick because of the electromagnetic frequency manipulation. And then you go backwards in time and history, and you can start seeing where there's large drops offs in people's, or a lot of people get sick all at once. And I realized, holy shit, it's every time our technology evolves. Spanish Spanish flu had to do with going from analog, from AM to FM, from ham radio to FM radio, and that's why everybody got sick. Cancer, having a cell phone next to your head all day long, radiation from the cell phone, you got right next to your head. Yeah. Oh shit. Oh.
Uh,
Nope. No. Yeah. We don't do as they tell us to do. Fucking wild. Fucking wild. I'm about to really going back in time on my phone. I'm like, wow. I found some memes in my phone from fucking. Oh my gosh, I forgot about all this shit. This is a great rehash of some old shit that I've had for a while. Holy crap. I'm just dropped it. It's gonna get me banned. It's gonna give me. Yeah. Oh no, I haven't tried to. No, the water is dirty. No, that's all we can do. I'm going back at my phone here to like this shit that I put down is like, man, a couple of years ago. So I'm dropping the best of Trump in the chat group. The question becomes, what do you guys want to do with it? We can make it into a document. Well, 100 people saw this morning's Christmas special. Well, we can make our own little documentary. You know, I mean, me neither. Right. It's just goddamn hilarious. We should be making a documentary out of it some way. How many pictures do you need for a movie? We could call it when Trump meets the Simpsons.
What the fact? That's what
Right. They did. So I'm solemnly here up to no good. I'm up to no good in the hood. Simply suggesting that Homer knows best. Like, it's amazing. How did Homer always know? Right. Yeah. The sim- I'm dropping a lot of stuff in the group phone right now. I'm pulling out like the best of some of the shit that they don't want you to know. Yeah. Oh no. Oh shit, Marshall.
Oh, that's some stuff still coming out.
God code. I won't play that part. Go over here though. This is fucking hilarious. I'm talking about Trump. Look, Grace put this together. Yeah, should I? You know, are you supposed to believe any of them? But you always catch them fucking lying. Yep. No. 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 You get to a point where you just don't even want to know anymore. It just makes you want to hole.
doing things, but instead of just playing with
So that's Enjoy the holiday and rest of your day over there on YouTube.